Traders. I wanted to come to you today just for a few minutes. I'll try my very best not to be too long. Um, as your screen, if you're looking at it right now, and uh, as opposed to just listening, um, this was a post that I did on my personal page, and of course, I want to kind of relate it to um, our trading. Of course, what I posted. This was a few days ago. It wasn't just now, but essentially, what I said right here on the screen is that, we pray to break every chain except for the mental ones. A lot of times when we come into Forex, um, we're absolutely driven by our why, and that's great. I mean, we need that as our fuel as we proceed through this journey that we call forex or stocks or options or whatever markets that you fancy, be it Nadex. But nevertheless, a lot of times when we come into this, we come into it, literally in the form of like a newborn baby. You know, we're brand new to it. We're bright-eyed. We're startled by every little thing. Where and every little thing also draws our attention. So therefore, you find yourself just sort of bouncing around from either, one experienced trader to the next, one guru to the next, and it's this constant, game of hopscotch, if you will. You're just kind of bouncing from one to the other and to the next to the third. Now, that's okay if you're actually progressing in that journey of hopscotch or that game of hopscotch, if you will. But more importantly, in the beginning, it is so vital to narrow your focus. Um, Again, let's backtrack back to your why. Why did you get into forex? Um, Most people, myself included, I was looking for various forms of freedom. Uh, More freedom of my time to do the things that I wanted to do with whomever I wanted to do it with, whenever I chose to do it. Um, Financial freedom, uh, being able to have the resources in this society of capitalism. Uh, our resources has a dollar value to it. So of course, the more money that you have, the more resources you can obtain, if not through the act of bartering. Um, what is another freedom? That's it. Time, there's money. I know those, for me, those are two very important ones, particularly most of the time, because we spend so much time away from our friends, family, and other loved ones, either slaving on some plantation. Um, And I know plantation is a very strong word, but we are in this cycle of economic slavery. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's okay. I'm just trying to paint a very broad picture so you can really understand why it is so important. If you're going to make this journey into Forex, is that you really need to narrow your focus. Um, I have seen a lot of traders. They'll want to come in and they will want to trade every pair. Now, that might certainly float your boat and it might entertain the particulars of a particular trading personality. For example, scalpers, because scalpers are looking for trade opportunities wherever they can find them. Also, with intraday traders, they too will look for trade opportunities wherever they can find them. However, I have seen some people have great success trying to trade a vast number of currency pairs in regard to Forex. I have seen some that have had a great deal of success trading just a small number of currency pairs. Now, what I will say, now certainly it worked for me, and my way is not the only way, it is just a way. But when you come into my mentorship, one of the things that I ask you to do is to narrow your focus. Because really the goal not only is to help you develop your trader mindset, but most importantly, I'm really trying to get you to understand not the adding of trading psychology along with actually understanding the markets. It's very hard to understand the market if you're flip flopping but from pair to pair to pair. Now, you'll say, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, it does because one currency pair could actually tell you everything you need to know about the markets. So, um, for example, I have made videos talking about the benefits of trading one pair. You know, you could trade a swing high to a swing low and vice versa. And in doing so, you'll learn so many things about that particular pair. You'll learn the average correction. You'll know uh, the times that it moves best in the market. Um, you certainly will understand how it behaves in trending markets. You'll also understand how it behaves in ranging markets. All of those things will become very useful to you when it comes to trading. But because you take the time to study and learn and date that pair, you get to know that pair very well. But in doing so, you also get the opportunity to understand the market because then you get to see chart patterns as they play out. You'll see chart patterns that happen more often than others. There are a lot of benefits in to just trading one pair, but nevertheless, I want to get back on track because I'm talking about breaking mental chains. And the thing of it is, it's very, very key for us to, in the beginning, narrow your focus. Although you know your why, and your why is your fuel to learning this particular skill set. But please, 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 what I want you to do is to narrow your focus. I don't care which pair that you pick, just pick one. And it's okay to have an alternate. But more importantly, get an understanding so you can chase uh, pips and not necessarily chase the money, because if you chase the pips, the money will come. And so, of course, you might be slightly discouraged if you would compare your trading account to a more advanced trader. Um, you'll see that they may take a same trade as you, uh, and their P&L may be greater. And of course, you find yourself in this state of envy, if you will, for lack of a better word. Now, but of course, what the main focus should be is that you're getting the process, you're understanding yourself as a trader. You're taking that knowledge of self and you're applying it to what you see on the charts and be able to interpret that in terms of forms of chart patterns, corrections, reversals, actually being able to eye points of divergence, seeing areas of consolidation, and taking all of this basic information, all without the help of some indicators or an EA, because a lot of that is going on around the markets. Now, I'm not knocking those things. If you need them, you need them. Particularly, you know, if you need indicators in the beginning, that is perfectly fine. I used indicators in the beginning, but I also had a goal is when I decided to take on and learn this skill set, I knew that I wanted to trade primarily by what I saw in price action. As it is said in trading circles, is that price is the best indicator. So, of course, if you can read candlesticks and candlesticks patterns, they tell you a story. And if you can correctly interpret the story, and understand some of the fractal nature that happens within the market, You can benefit from that. But in order to do that, you really do have to narrow your focus. You have to break those mental chains. A lot of us have come from a mindset of lack, and it's very hard. It's a challenge. It's a very big challenge to try to move from a mindset of lack into a mindset of prosperity where you can activate that law of attraction, that one universal law. I'm not going to even talking about the other 11, just the one universal law of attraction. If you can manifest that and activate that in your life, because believe me, whatever that you learn on these charts, it will be applied to your day-to-day living. You can become a greater person. You can actually become the greater version of yourself, the one that you have always aspired and dreamed about as a little boy or a little girl. And you said to yourself, I want to be this. You can do that, but you have to apply yourself. You have to buckle down. You've got to have hunger. You've got to really want it. You can't let anything deter you from that. You really have to narrow your focus. And if you can do that, success is yours and it's right around the corner. So just at that moment when you feel like you can't give anymore, keep going. Because I promise you, you'll get there. And when you do, there'll be people like me and others waiting for you. So these are just some thoughts that I really wanted to share with you. I'm going to try my very best to give you all the value that I can. And as I learn even more, I'm willing to share even that with you because I want to see you win. You do not know how important that is just to see you win. Because there's no point of being at the top alone. And I want to be around like-minded people who have overcome the mindset of lack and disenfranchisement so they can walk into this very land of milk and honey that we have heard about so often as little children and have recited in whatever speeches that we may have learned in elementary and primary school. This is your moment. This is your now. This is month 8 of 2020. Whatever pains that you have been feeling, they are soon to be over, and you will give birth to the new you. I hope, again, anything that I have said, past, present, and future, has provided some value to you. And certainly, if you are interested in connecting with me, you can reach me at any given time. You know where I am. God bless. The trading week has just begun, so I certainly hope that you are in some trades. I hope that you have a very prosperous trading week. And until we meet again, take care, God bless, and be well.